What's going on, everyone? Today we are going to show you how to make your offer better. Now, we've been getting many emails from people asking me to keep going over this. So I'm going to go over this one step at a time for you to show you how to make your offer better. Now, I want to say this before we move forward. If you make a fantastic offer, right, it's too good to be true, and you don't get your offer accepted, don't feel bad. Because there's always somebody else that's going to risk more to get that house or put themselves in a crazy situation to get that house. But you should feel upset if you didn't make the right offer. If you wrote the contract wrong, you were guided wrong, right? So I'm doing this for you, the buyer. I'm doing this for you, the realtor. And I'm doing this for you, the buyer who's working with the realtor, so you both can be on the same page, okay? So with that said, we're going to go over a house, just for instance, a $300,000 house. And I'm going to go over, like, step by step, what to do, how to make it better. And by the way, this phone has not stopped, and I can't keep doing it. I redid this video like 10 times because the phone kept ringing. So we're going to go over a $300,000 house. We're going to go over main topics, and then I'll kind of give you some more insights, okay? So first and foremost, this is the problem we're having. If a house comes on the market on a Wednesday or Thursday, normally they're going to do highest and best by Sunday, right? Even if they don't say it, it'll probably be in contract by Sunday. But you have to assume that that house is going to be in contract right away. So before even making an offer, you need to have your search criteria set up. You need to have your realtor have them set up for you. So if you know that you're looking for a $300,000 house, say in Riverview, and it comes on the market today or tomorrow, you're right then and there. Let's go look at it right away. Boom, let's go, right? Because what a lot of people don't realize is when we get offers, well, at least for me, when we get offers, I tell my sellers, look, this was the first or two offers that came in. And what that's telling me is that maybe they're on top of their game. They're strong. They're alert. They're ready to go. So it's not that it's a better offer per se, but it means maybe that they're more like a realistic, serious, I need this house. I didn't waste any time. I didn't wait till, the weekend. Granted, I know people have jobs and whatnot. But what I'm saying is it kind of does show a little bit when you're like, boom, right? So anyway, let's get into it. $300,000 house. Now you have to assume that the house is going to get more. So when you put $300,000 as the price, you're probably already going to be too low. And it's crazy because there are times that I'm telling agents, hey, listen, your $300,000 offer was the lowest offer we had, even at full price. So you want to go to your highest and best. Now remember, when you're talking to a lender and you're spreading this over 30 years, when you go up in price, it's not really changing that much a month because you're spreading it over 30 years. As long as that's not your absolute craziest top, and make sure you got to remember CDD or not CDD because it's going to make a difference. So let's say you make a higher offer. Let's just use 320, okay? So you're coming in and you're telling them that you're going to go 320, okay? Good. You're showing the sellers, hey, look, I'm giving you a good offer. Make sure you do your due diligence as well for the appraised value that you know it can appraise. I'll get to that in a second, and I'll explain. Escrow. So many times, people are putting very low escrows. Escrow's a tricky one, and this is why. Escrow is fully refundable if the deal doesn't go through, and there's so many different ways that deals cannot go through, whether it's inspection, appraisal, finance contingency. So realtors just assume, oh, well, because the escrow is so refundable, I'm just going to put a little bit. But you have to remember that a lot of people don't understand escrow down here, especially from different states. And you always should put in a big number, right? So maybe you want to double it and put $6,000. And the reason you're putting in a higher number is you're telling this seller, look, I got money, okay? I'm not on the cusp of my debt to ratio where it's really low. I don't have God forbid I bought something, I'm going to miss out on this house. You're telling the seller, look, I want your house. I'm going to give you more money. I'm going to give you some good money in escrow, okay? And you're telling them that you're a serious buyer, but not only you're serious, but you have the credentials. You have what it takes to get this house. Always remember this: when you make an offer, it's the listing agent that's presenting it with the seller or the seller looking it over. It's their perception of what they're seeing, because you're not going in there saying, hi, my name is so and I'm making an offer on your house. It's the seller and the listing agent that are taking these offers, and they're going through them, and they have to look at these offers and make up who you are, right? So by putting this offer together, they're putting all these pieces of the puzzle to figure out who you are. And that's why there's so many aspects to this that I'm going to give you. Escrow, important to put a lot. Now, if you love that house and you think it's the house of your dreams, then if it was me, I would do well, here's how these two play together. I'm going to say in the inspection that I'm going to take the least amount of time. And I'm going to say, all right, 3 days, let's say. And I'm going to explain why. What is happening is agents are leaving it blank, or they're putting 10 days. And that's saying to the seller, let me explain the inspection. Hey, seller, I need 10 days to do my inspections. And I can back out if I want. And I get that escrow money back. Why would the seller take your offer for 10 days later for you not to want this house anymore? Right? And you as an agent need to understand this. I talk about it all the time. I talk about it constantly, and then I still get offers that say 10 or 15 days. As a buyer, when you're saying 3 days, you're literally saying, hey, look, I just need 3 days real quick. I'm going to get an inspection done. And don't tell me, oh, all the inspectors are busy, because there's plenty of inspectors. Now, if you're an inspector out there, you're more than welcome to comment and say, hey, I'm free, right? Hey, call me anytime. Because there's inspectors out there that are ready to rock and roll, and you call them and say, I'm putting an offer on this house, and it gets accepted, then you can already have the inspection scheduled, right? So this is where, and this is up to you if you want to do this, you can say, when the inspection is over, half or all is non-refundable on a loan contingency. Let's move on. You're like, Karen, you confused me. Hear me out here. You do the inspection, and let's say everything goes well. The next thing is going to be the appraisal and the loan contingency. So what people are doing right now is they're saying, I will pay the difference, the $20,000 or whatever, if it doesn't appraise. I personally think that's crazy. I wouldn't do that. But again, if you're in a situation where you need to buy, or you're, the house of your dreams, then do it. If it's a house of your dreams and you have to do it, that's your call. I personally wouldn't take money and pay the difference of the appraisal. But there's many people doing it. But this is what I'm trying to explain. So this right here, your loan contingency, is basically saying, if for some reason I can't get this loan, I get my escrow back. Ready? Oh, well, if I bought a car, or if I bought a washing machine or dryer, or if I did this, or I messed up my credit, you're not going to know. I can't get the loan. So this is why cash buyers, right, when I was talking about this, are phenomenal right now if they're just a regular cash buyer, because there's no loan contingency and there's no appraisal. So from here down, this is all the cash buyers are, and these are your finance. So if you waive the loan contingency and you say, look, if I don't get the loan, keep my escrow or keep half of it, that's a really, really, really strong offer. Now, I can't tell you to do that, but this is what my mindset is as a listing agent. Every agent calls me up and tells me the same thing. Oh, my buyer's phenomenal. They got the best credit, blah, 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 blah. I mean, all day. And I go, okay. Well, then if you're that, like for me personally, when I go buying a property, I do not do a loan contingency, because I know that I have my lenders and they know what the heck they're doing. And they're going to tell me right off the bat, you're good to go. And if I screw up my credit and I screw up it's not the seller's fault. That's my fault, right? So I go into it and I'll make an offer and I'll go, don't worry about the loan contingency. I know I'm a good buyer. So if something happens, you keep my escrow. And that makes me a super strong buyer, because it almost turns me into theoretically a cash buyer. The only difference is I still have the appraisal I have to do, and I'm not paying the difference. I'm not paying the difference of appraisal, right? So I make myself a cash buyer pretty much by waiving this loan contingency. For me, it weeds out a lot of people. I'm telling you, I catch lenders that work with buyers and agents in lies constantly. Because what happens is there's lenders that are telling buyers, hey, you're on the cusp. I don't know if you can get this house, but the loan contingency protects you. But me as a listing agent, I'm going, you need 30 days to get a loan? This guy needs 15. I'm taking him. You know? Oh, this family over here, this woman over here, this guy over here, it doesn't matter. They need 10, 9, 8, 7. But when you need 30, you know what I mean? So the point is that this right here, if you waive that, it makes it strong. The appraisal is up to you. And let me go over this one real quick. If you buy a house for $300,000, right? I'm just using 300, and it appraises for 280. You do not have to pay the difference. The seller does not have to bring the price down either. In a normal market, it'd be renegotiated, or the seller would bring it down. Right now, buyers are saying, I will pay the difference. I think that's crazy, because if the house appraised for 280 and you're buying it for 300 and you're paying $20,000 difference, if the market goes up 20,000, you now just broke even. That doesn't make any sense. But again, I'm not in a situation where I have to buy, or I'm not in a situation where I sold and whatnot. So I get it. So let's go over this again. A $300,000 house, I would always come in higher, right? I would have the pre-approval. I'm going to give you a bonus thing at the end, by the way. A bonus thing that you need to hear. The escrow, I bring it higher. If you want to do non-refundable after inspection and waive your loan contingency, it's just going to make you super strong. The inspection should be really quick. There's no reason that you should be asking a seller to take that house off the market. The appraisal is up to you to waive the appraisal. Again, me, I wouldn't do it, but there are tons of buyers that are doing it. Again, I wouldn't do it. But again, here's the thing. If you come up high in price and it's going to appraise, then you don't have to worry about the money anyway. I mean, like, if this house was worth more and you say I'll pay the difference, but you know it's going to appraise, then you don't have to pay the difference. Here's the bonus one. And this is a very, very, very important piece of the puzzle. Here I am, and I have, let's say, 5 offers. And all 5 are exactly the same. Agent A, B, C, D, E, F. A, B, C, D, E, F. Whatever, right? So this one is a bank that is a nightmare to deal with. This one is a big corporate bank that you might have a checkings and savings account with, but it's a nightmare to deal with. And then this one's like Riverview Mortgage, and this one's like Rob DeJory from Guild Mortgage, and this one is like whatever other mortgages I work with, right? There's a lot of good lenders out there, don't get me wrong. And there's a lot of lenders that I work with from different banks that I already know it went really smooth. So when I see a pre-approval coming from those banks, I tell the sellers, look, I've worked with this lender before, phenomenal. I've worked with this lender before, phenomenal. A perfect example is this guy named Sean from Van Dyke Mortgage. I personally don't use him with buyers. Nothing bad to say about him. He's a good guy. I've had multiple deals where he was representing buyers coming into my properties. And I'm like, good guy. I've never had a deal die. He's solid. He knows his stuff. So your offer is already stronger knowing that you have him representing you because he's done his due diligence and he knows that you can get the loan. And that's what I'm talking about. Having a good lender and agent is going to make a difference in your offer. And yes, agents, because there are agents that make offers that I'm like, there's so many agents from different companies that when they come in with offers, I already know this is going to be a smooth deal because they know what they're doing. So I hope this helps you guys. I know this was a longer video than normal. If you have any questions and you want me to go over this, I'd love to do the educations, anything and any day. You know, I mean, I go Facebook Live if you want. I love to teach whatever I can help you guys with. With that being said, look out for an event next week. We got to do a big ice cream party. I rented an ice cream truck next week. So follow us for that too. So thank you guys so much. Any questions, let me know. Happy Thursday.